So let's talk about a huge paradox that's sitting right at the heart of cybersecurity. On one hand, artificial intelligence is, without a doubt, our most powerful new defender. But it's also our newest and maybe our most unpredictable vulnerability. How in the world can it be both? Well, that's exactly the story we're going to unpack right now. Okay, to really get why AI is so critical, you've got to start with this number. This is about how many cybersecurity jobs are open right now, today. I mean, it is a massive talent gap. And the simple truth is, we just can't create human experts fast enough to keep up.
So, what are we supposed to do? The only answer is to make the experts we do have way, way more powerful. We have to give them what the industry calls force multipliers, tools that basically amplify their skills and let one person do the work of 10, maybe even 100 people. And really, these tools come in two main flavors. You've got automation, which is all about working more efficiently, making repetitive tasks go faster. But then you have artificial intelligence, and this is where it gets really cool. And this is our focus today, which is all about working more intelligently. It's about finding threats and connecting the dots in ways that, frankly, a human mind or even basic automation just never could.
So for the first half here, let's look at AI as the good guy. I want you to think of it like a digital detective, a partner for our human experts that can investigate things with, well, superhuman speed and insight. So how does this AI detective actually work? Well, one of its best tools is something called a knowledge graph. You can think of it like a smart, living mind map that builds itself in real time. So let's say a user connects to an IP address. The AI notes that. Then it sees that same IP is hosting a domain with a nasty URL, and that URL points to a file that's already been flagged as malware. Now, on their own, these are just little data points, right? But the AI, in a split second, connects them all, drawing a direct line from that user right to the malware. And then it can trace every other connection to that IP to see who else might be in trouble. Okay, but what about something sneakier, like an insider attack? This is what's so amazing. See, each one of these actions, by itself, totally normal. A privileged user logs in, they create a new account, no big deal. But then, almost instantly, they copy a whole database. And just as quickly, they delete the account they just made. A human analyst might miss that, but the AI sees the whole sequence, the speed, the combination of events, and immediately flags it as a giant red flag. It spots that sinister pattern that we would almost certainly miss. And really, all of this magic comes down to a pretty simple idea. And this quote from IBM just nails it. At its core, the machine learning that powers these tools is just pattern matching. But it's pattern matching on steroids. We're talking about a scale and a speed that is absolutely transformative. It's like being able to spot one specific grain of black sand on an entire beach in just a few seconds. So we've seen what this incredible digital detective can do. But to understand its biggest weakness, its Achilles heel, we need to pull back the curtain and see how these things are actually built. So let's take a quick look inside what you might call the AI factory. Most of the AI we talk about today starts its life as what's called a foundation model. Probably the best analogy is a massive general-purpose engine. It's already been pre-trained on just a colossal amount of data from the internet, so it already has a basic grasp of language and logic. Then, developers can take that pre-built engine and fine-tune it for a really specific job, like cybersecurity, without having to build a whole new one from the ground up. And the process of tweaking that engine is kind of like baking a super complicated cake. First, you have to prepare your special ingredients, in this case, huge amounts of very specific data. Then you use that data to train the model, you validate how well it's doing, you tune the recipe a bit, and finally, you deploy your finished cake into a real-world application. And the sheer scale of these models is it's hard to wrap your head around. A foundation model like GPT-3 has something like 175 billion parameters. And you can think of each one of those parameters as a tiny little knob that the model can adjust as it learns. This incredible complexity is what makes it so powerful, but it's also like having a machine with 175 billion moving parts. It creates all these new, unexpected places for weaknesses to hide. And this is where our story takes a very sharp turn, because that same powerful intelligence that we're using to defend ourselves can be hijacked and turned right back against us. So what happens when the digital detective that we built to protect us becomes the target of the attack itself? Let's make this really concrete with a little story. Imagine an AI agent, and it's given a totally harmless job. Browse the internet, look at a bunch of websites, and find the absolute best deal on a particular used book. Sounds pretty simple, right? But Hiding on one of those websites, completely invisible to human eyes, we're talking black text on a black background, is this command. It's basically a digital landmine just sitting there, waiting for the AI to read it.
This type of attack is called an indirect prompt injection. And what's so clever and honestly so terrifying about it is that the attacker isn't hacking the AI's code directly. No, they're poisoning the data that the AI is reading from the outside world. The AI sees that hidden text and boom, its original mission to find the best price is instantly overwritten by a new malicious one.
So how well does this actually work? Terrifyingly well. In one study, these kinds of attacks had at least some success 86% of the time. Now, the silver lining, for now, is that the AI often wasn't smart enough to fully complete the attacker's goal, a little flaw the researchers jokingly called security by incompetence. But that is definitely not a defense strategy you want to bet on for the long term. Okay, so that's the nightmare. How do we fix it? Well, the solution is to never let your AI agent just wander around the wild, untrusted internet by itself. Instead, you put a guard in the middle, a special kind of AI firewall. This firewall checks all the data coming in for any of those hidden prompts, and it checks all the commands the AI is sending out just to make sure our little agent hasn't been compromised. This whole new world with AI defenders and AI systems being targets, it's creating a huge demand for a totally new kind of expert. Someone who doesn't just get AI or just get security, but who can actually build the bridge between these two worlds. And this quote from Professor Calix at Purdue just brilliantly sums up the core challenge. The machine learning algorithms themselves, they're pretty universal. You could use the same basic ones in healthcare or finance. The really hard part, the thing that requires deep expertise, is understanding the weird, unique, and often hostile nature of cybersecurity data. And that brings us to what might be the single most important concept in this entire field, the vector space model. Just think of this as the universal language for AI. It doesn't matter what your data is, network packets, log files, pictures, text, it all has to be translated into this common mathematical format, which is basically just a long string of numbers, before any AI algorithm can understand it. It's literally how the AI sees the world. So when you look at the whole process, the whole pipeline, you realize something. Applying that fancy machine learning algorithm, that's just one step, and it's pretty late in the game. The vast majority of the real work, the true human expertise, is in steps 2 and 3, taking that raw, messy cybersecurity data and carefully cleaning it, structuring it, and translating it into a perfect vector space model. That's where the real magic happens. Which brings us right back to our final big question. As we build these incredibly powerful AI guardians to watch over our digital world, we have to face the challenge that is going to define the next decade. Who exactly is going to guard the guardians?